It's just kind of boring emails, but
Yeah, are we in
so
yet?
I appreciate knowing for sure. Yeah.
Andrew,
Yes,
are we in?
yes, so we are. I just got the thumbs up from Amy Southall, so we are good to go.
Okay, because all I seen is the town seal. Oh, okay, waiting on you.
Okay, Amy? So I do think she may need to program it so that we can have video on.
Yeah, I cannot get in.
Okay, let me,
That's okay. We missed Melissa already, and Amy, she's gonna do just great.
oh yeah, no, Amy's on top of it for sure. But
Yep.
yeah, there is a special setting. I can run in and just ask her to set that up. Give me 1 second and I'll run in.
Okay.
You should be able to
You
do
should be-
video now. Sorry about that.
Great. And Sharon is able to join us as well this meeting from DCI.
Excellent. Hey, Sharon.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
How are you, girl?
Happy to be here. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Andrew, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you're ready, I'm going ahead and call the March 24th Central Business Committee meeting to order. It's all yours.
Great. Thank you. So we don't have a very long agenda today, but do want to go ahead and jump into it. The first item is just kind of an update on the Public Art Advisory Board and the art plan that is coming together. We have a draft together and we're kind of finalizing the different sections. And our next meeting is scheduled for, I think it would be that second Tuesday. So it would be April 13th. Does that sound right, Marissa?
Yes, it does. Mhm.
So, and then I think at that meeting, the committee will come together to figure out how to engage the public with, with the draft plan over the next, month or so after that, and then get it in place and let's start doing things. So,
Marissa,
Yeah.
Marissa,
Yes.
how many meetings have y'all had so far?
Oh, goodness. 5 off or 6 off the top of my head. And
Okay.
I know that's different.
yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Okay,
Say
sounds
what?
good.
I also wanted to mention to you as well that I had reached to, well, it's through another program in Blacksburg, but he's on the arts board for Blacksburg. So we have this great conversation back and forth, and I've pulled Andrew into it as well. And hopefully in the future, we can work on a collaboration.
Okay,
We thought was great.
all right,
So
sounds
just letting
good.
you know that. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
And I let Marissa know, but for since this is being recorded, the town did present. I presented at the Livability Initiative on the state of art in the NRV, and that was in collaboration with Ann McClung, the planning director in in Blacksburg, and they have kind of been doing a little bit different. They're developing kind of a draft plan and then going to bring the board members on and then have them tweak it and then move forward that way. So we're probably kind of necking up to one another as far as our processes and where we are in them. So I do have a call scheduled with Ian McClung on Friday in the morning to kind of talk about how could potentially we collaborate in the future. And that's one thing that during this presentation I kind of called out, because the livability initiative is for the entire NRV. So I do think that how do we leverage art projects in the future that could benefit Floyd County and Pulaski and us as well. So I do think that is definitely room, even regionally, for collaboration as well as we move forward.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
So that's really all I had on the Public Art Advisory Board as far as a quick update on that. If there's other questions, I'll move on to the Facade grant program.
Okay, I don't have anything.
So can you see the PowerPoint for the?
I can.
Now, okay. Very good. So as you may recall, we've gotten a little bit behind on the, somewhat behind on the schedule as we were hoping to roll it out in February and March. And so we, with some staff turnover, I think we're getting back on our feet. We have a new planning director that started about a week and a half ago, Margie Barden, and I know she's going to be coming to a council meeting soon to meet all council members, and it'd be great to get her involved in this group as well as she's getting her feet under her and learning all about everything that we're doing here in Christiansburg. But I think she's going to be a great addition to our staff. And but the Facade program, I have some new dates where we're pushing out we're going to do 2 Zoom webinars in the middle of April, and then an in-person town hall meeting. The first meeting that we do as a Zoom webinar, and this is similar to what we had planned before, but just different dates. We're going to record and then post that first meeting to the YouTube channel so that people that didn't have a chance to attend could view the YouTube recording. And then we originally talked about this on February 9th, and then or at least updated council on February 9th. So we are kind of it just unfortunately the way that it worked out with the limited staff resources, we're a little bit further behind than I would have liked, but I think we can make up some time now. And I think the last time we talked with Central Business, the main takeaway was really to look, as we get the review committee back together, is to really look at applications that have not been submitted previously as a priority, and then to look at other applications. And I think that was really the main takeaway that I had in my notes from Central Business when we talked about it earlier this year.
All right, so we do have new applications now.
So we will be, the application process will be starting here in April. So we do not have new applications at this point.
Okay.
So we will be doing the public input meetings and then accepting applications through really looking to close that out at on April 27th. That's a Tuesday, and then
Okay.
get the group together over those next 2 weeks, and then have the finalists selected by May 12th. Is what
Okay.
we have planned here. So we are still going to push folks to see if we could get improvements done by June 30th, but understand that with an agreement we could, and obviously communicating with a finance director, that we would be rolling over some dollars to the next budget year. So I think by by May, by this May 12th date or middle of May, we should be able to, give direction to the finance department. Okay, well, we believe that 60% of the funds are going to be able to be allocated by July 1st. The rest will need to be rolled over into to the next fiscal year. And then currently there is in the proposed budget, there is another funding round of $25,000 for next fiscal year as well.
Now, Andrew, how does it work with the Iron Tree Brewing since pretty much they're going into this year? Or are we still using prior funding allocation?
So they have completed their improvements. So it is a complete, project at this point.
Oh, okay.
And they're with COVID, their opening has been delayed, but they had finished up. I think it was maybe October, November of last year with the Facade grant. And
Okay, gotcha.
completing the improvements. They've done a lot more, but, what we helped.
Somebody's home.
Mute.
Yeah, got something to say.
Hey,
Apply for the Facade grant.
hey, Andrew.
Go ahead, Sam.
Andrew,
Kobe.
can you, Andrew,
Yes.
can you kind of refresh my memory? What did they do with the grant at that location?
And so they did. They removed the awning. They cleaned up the translucent blocks above that was kind of covered by the awning before they put in gooseneck
Right, okay,
new signage, and it helped a little bit towards window replacement, although they've done a lot more than the $4,500 match on window replacement. They recently just replaced all of their windows in the front, and they look really great.
okay,
A much more expensive proposition, but that's kind of, that shows the strength, the program, that it maybe allows businesses to stretch a little bit further, with some matching dollars, with improvements above what the match is. So, and I think we saw that with a number of businesses where, the match was kind of a starting point, and then they went beyond that.
okay.
And
Yeah, no,
Sam,
I'm saying, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you, I know that Mrs. Hicks had sent us a email of consideration, and it's up to you if we address that or if it's not worthy for this year. But I did want to make sure I bring it up.
You talking about about bringing another business in?
Yes.
Yeah, well, at this point in time, I don't feel like we need to rezone anything or reach out and just bring one business in. I think we need to stick with what we have time being.
I do understand that. I just wanted to make sure it's addressed. So thank you very much.
Okay, I understand. No problem. Back on you, Andrew.
Right, and everything really stays the same as far as, once we select the 5 awardees, then we would schedule times for them to meet with our artist that's out of Salem, to meet with staff and the applicant, and to start to develop a rendering of the improvements. And then those improvements would be agreed upon by the selection committee, and then they would move forward with improvements at that point.
I think this is a great place for Sharon to get involved to DCI too, because all of what they cover is exactly what this covers. So Sharon, I know you're muted, but do you feel that you can share this with your customer base?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. And part of, the beauty of DCI is we can actually have those conversations with the downtown business owners, and it's nice to have someone face to face with them to answer questions or for me to relay back and forth. So I would be more than happy to do that.
Sam, how do you feel?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's why we want people like, DCI on board and stuff to help us reach out to people that the 2 or 4 of us can't do.
Yes, I think so
Yes, of
too.
course.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're on board, Sharon.
Yeah, same here. We'll put you to work.
Well, all right. Sounds good.
All right. Andrew,
So that's really all I had for the facade grant.
okay, I do have another question for you.
Oh, sure. And I can
As
switch.
far as the committee, we're gonna use the same people, we're gonna have different people sitting in on the committee this year, this way when we get rolling. You know, new,
The direction was that it would be the same committee. If there was
okay,
anything that was to be tweaked, please let me know.
okay,
If we were thinking about adding additional members or the same, that's certainly something. I can send that list out to you all again as far as who was on the committee. I
if
don't
you could do that.
have my slides.
Yeah, if you could
I
do
think
that, that's
it's great.
fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think the last committee, I mean, they know what we're looking for. So, I know they did a good job.
Yeah,
But if you could just resend those
Right.
names, that would be great.
excellent. We'll do.
Thank you. Back to you.
Very good. Now, can you see the agenda now? It's always a little confusing on my end.
Well,
Yeah.
I can see, I printed me a copy off.
So the next is the rally grant update, and I would, really ask, Sharon and Marissa to help me out with this. I know that the rally, I forget which subcommittee it is, but they have asked for input by this Friday on a name for the park.
Mhm.
So they're looking for to finalize a name for the park. I know the fundraising continues. An exact update on that. Unfortunately, our last meeting coincided with a budget work session here, so I was only able to catch the last 10 to 15 minutes of the meeting. But Sharon, is there anything else, or Marissa, that you'd like to add on that?
I would just like to add that the group has been working hard, and I think we're gaining more momentum now that we've broken down into different groups with different tasks. And naming them is pretty important, because now once we can do that, then the rest of the marketing and the brochures and other things can be taken care of. So I'd like to, Sharon, have you sent that out to all of council?
The naming survey, I think Ellie sent out yesterday. I'll double check to make sure everybody received it. I think so, but I'll double check to make sure.
Okay, I'd like to
because I
get
do know
that.
she put a deadline.
It'd be nice to get that to Amy, so maybe she can share it and we can get as much
Sure,
input as we can from
absolutely.
citizens that way. Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Sharon, for that.
Mhm.
You're
I think
welcome.
Amy has the ability to get it out to the most people the fastest. And it was narrowed down to 3 names. What was it? Haven, Serenity, and there was a third one that.
Yeah. So the Haven on Main Street, Great Little Park on Main, and Serenity Park on Main.
Little part.
Okay. But otherwise, I do feel like some of the expenses came back a little higher than we expected. So from the last meeting I was at, we were trying to pivot a little bit and get things more affordable. But the plan is good. The community input is good. We are keeping the town investment out on purpose. This is not a town project, it's a community project. So all the answers are coming from the public, and I think so far we're making great progress, although it seems a little slower than we all would like because of COVID. But Sharon, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think we started really gaining some ground this past month when we split up into the marketing committee and the fundraising committee. The fundraising committee has finalized the brochures to hand out for corporate sponsorship, and they are wonderful. So those should be probably, they'll be advertised as soon as we get the park name results back, so we can, start really branding that with the park name so it's very cohesive. And the marketing committee is doing a great job. I know DCI is revamping their website a little bit to be to kind of highlight that a little bit more on their website. So it's really easy for people to be able to find exactly where to go to donate. So yeah, I feel like we're actually gaining some ground now. So we're pretty excited over at DCI for it.
Thank you, Sharon.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Andrew.
So that's really, I guess that would be item C, rally grant update. And then next would be the ARC construction grant project. And I do have a quick slide to share on that. And you should be seeing the Christiansburg Gathering Space project at the top of
I do.
the slide. Okay. And so as you recall, we as a result of the Appalachian Regional Commission planning grant we received, and we did the placemaking study that looked at Cambria, downtown, and the Midtown area. The project that really rose to the top was a farmer's market gathering space downtown, and the location was on Hickox Street. So there were a number of drawings that you could kind of see in the background of this slide, actually, that show what potential development could look like on Hickox Street. As you know, we did get awarded for a construction grant for this project. We did apply for, I think we applied for $500,000, around that amount, and because of just the amount of funding they had available, from what we're hearing from ARC staff, it wasn't anything against the project itself, but we did get $275,000 allocated. So it is a matter of adjusting the budget to reflect the award that we did get, and then to move forward that way. This does dovetail nicely, and we were able to use the Hickox Street drainage project that is starting later this year. It relocates the stream, the creek that runs underneath several buildings and through the parking lot and the adjacent block on Main Street, and that would be relocating and piping the water under Hickox Street, and we'd also be undergrounding some utilities and electricity as well as part of the utility relocation, and also as part of that project, they're going to be they're going to be really taking out most of the street, so they're going to be laying down the back sidewalk and such there, and so we're really dovetailing both projects to kind of complement each other nicely on and potentially saving a little bit of money on the farmers market structured gathering space project because we won't be spending because we're able to spend the money from the drainage project dollars for finishes for Hickox Street. So it's nice that we're able to do both projects at the same time, and they're kind of lining up nicely. Although one thing is that it does give us a little bit more time as far as working with Department of Housing and Community Development, which administers the Appalachian Regional Commission grants at the state level. It gives us a little bit more time to work with them. So we are asking for an extension to get under contract with them. So there's a number of pre-contract activities that we have to do with them, which is, as I mentioned before, the second bullet point, adjusting the budget, We would be identifying project management team. We draft a project management plan. We need to conduct an environmental review, which looks at things like flooding, which with the drainage project, we're hoping to take care of a lot of those issues, and potentially other environmental issues. Are there any endangered species in this area and such as that? That's just a process that we would have to go through. Then town council would have to adopt a non-discrimination policy. We would advertise for minority and female-owned businesses, and then also we would look to bring in on a architectural and engineering firm, and to get additional public input and to finalize the drawings. So the drawings that we have now are a great starting place, but with our adjusted budget and with just additional public input, we would need to finalize those drawings and to finalize the design itself. So as far as a time frame, we look to get with the extension under pre-contract, to get under contract with Department of Housing and Community Development by mid to late summer, and then we would be going into kind of the design phase in the fall for the final drawings and for a community gathering space and a farmers market structure. And I think that's where details like what would be the final design of Hickox Street. Would you have structures there and then still have either one-way or potentially two-way traffic with the structures, when the farmers market or the space is not being utilized. And so those are details that, we will look to the community and then to council for final direction on as we move forward. But we do in hand, we have a grant amount for $275,000 to make, gathering space, farmers market improvements on Hickox Street.
Okay, Andrew,
Yes.
out of the $275, is that only to be used for the Hickox Street, or where we decided to put the farmers market?
It really is intended to be on Hickox Street because we did use match dollars, that for the drainage project. And the drainage project is over a $2 million project. So it was pretty easy to make that match for the $275,000.
Okay.
Spending money there already. So we don't have to use general fund dollars at all to match for the grant, because otherwise we would have to find put $275,000 towards the grant. I mean, if council at the end of the day would like to put additional dollars towards it, that's obvious. That would be a decision that council would make. But at this point, we would look to have our budget for the structure itself and any improvements, like tables or such, or lighting on Hickox Street come out of that $275,000.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I mean, and again, I think Hickox Street has always been one of those areas that if there was another area that we think we could really make work, I think it would be really worth really worth taking a look at and studying. But at this point, I do think that if this project is to go through, and after the drainage project and this project, we're going to have a unique place for people to come together, on Hickox Street.
Okay.
Yeah, and right close to the new small park.
Mhm.
Seems great. I do have a question for you. What is the portion about advertising the minority and female-owned businesses? I'm trying to understand how that comes into play in this.
So because it is a federal grant through the Appalachian Regional Commission, there are federal requirements that that these are things that we would aim to do normally, but they are requirements under when you accept federal grant dollars.
So we would be advertising our local businesses, or we are wanting women owned and minority businesses to take part in this project?
Correct. We would advertise to, as far as, we would advertise for minority and female-owned businesses to submit for
RFPs or something?
for RFPs, and
Okay, gotcha.
we have it written into our design contract that we could go with the architectural and engineering firm that we used during the during the first phase for the design grant, for the placemaking plan, which was the Hill Studios. We could go forward with them, or we could put it out for RFP, for a new architectural engineering firm to apply, and then we would use, we would have to meet those requirements to so that we did advertise it, using our non-discrimination policy, and we advertise it to minority and female-owned businesses, and we would have to attest to that. And then we'll have to do that for the construction as well.
Okay, because there are funds set aside just for smalls and micros, and so, okay, I understand that. Thank you.
And I will circle back around with Jennifer Wilsey at the Regional Commission to make sure I didn't miss anything on that, since she really is, she's our consultant that will handle all of those items and make sure we're doing things right per our contract.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And that's really all I had with the Hickox Street Gathering Space project.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
And whenever the central business feels it would be best to bring back to town council for an update, I'm more than happy to do that at any time.
Okay.
I think we're a little early yet to do it just yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, unless they ask. I mean, a little while longer, it's not gonna hurt.
Okay. Very good. And that is really all that I had for the construction grant project. And can you see the agenda now?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. So,
No, like I said, I printed a copy out, so I'm good.
there we go.
Oh, Sam,
No.
come on now.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, okay, I can see it now.
you're a step ahead of the rest of us.
Well, that's me, you know me.
I know. I got to pick on you.
That's all right. At least I know we still friends. Huh? Back to you, Andrew.
All right. I think that brings us to other business. If there's any other items that you'd like to bring up.
Go ahead, Marissa.
I was interested in the opportunity zones. Have we determined if there's anything that we can do in that respect to be helpful to local businesses who qualify? I believe we had it on our agenda a while ago and then COVID hit. So just kind of circling back to that.
Yeah. I can take a look at it again. I mean, it is based on census tracts that meet certain, I think, low to moderate income requirements. I don't think the way our census tracts are broken up is we do have a number that meet in the middle at downtown. So I don't think that we would have, it would all be all encompassing for downtown or for Cambria. There may be a portion that would be benefited by the opportunity zone, but I do think, I could certainly look back into that again, as far as whether that makes sense at this point to move forward. I mean, I think opportunity zones have been more for industrial based businesses. and or research and development, but it's certainly something I could look back at again and see the direction we want to go. There's not too many examples that I'm aware of around here that have been able to take advantage of them. So we don't have a great model that, that says, oh, well, geez, we just need to do what they're doing or something along those lines. But yeah, let me look back at it and then I can
Okay.
go back to the next meeting.
Okay, sounds good. I don't have any other new business then.
All right, well, I don't have anything else. Andrew, Sharon, yeah, y'all have anything else?
I can give you a few updates on what DCI has on
Please.
the calendar for this year, if you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
Sure.
This year we are reining in our focus on the Pocket Park, some events downtown, and pursuing the Main Street designation. The Pocket Park we've kind of already went over, but we feel like we're going to actually gain some ground, and hopefully we'll be able to kick off the fundraising here in the next week or so. So hopefully by next month, I'll have a good update for you all with that. Event wise, we have slated for the food truck rodeo to be the first Saturday in October. The businesses have requested that we don't hold them on Fridays anymore. So we are going to try Saturday this year. We're really optimistic that with social distancing guidelines and everything that we'll be able to do it. And so we're starting to get all of our ducks in a row for that. And we're also thinking of the movies in the park. We're looking at the dates for maybe the last Friday of every month in June, July, and August. That's not concrete yet because there's a couple moving parts with that, with other events and stuff we have to make sure of. But hopefully the next time we meet, I'll have those on the calendar as well. So we'll have some concrete dates for those if we're able to do that socially responsibly, and the governor keeps, allowing us to hold events and stuff like that. And then we have an RFP out for a web designer. If you all know anybody, or if you maybe hear people talking about it, DCI is trying to revamp their website, like I said, to not only help with the fundraising for the Pocket Park, but just to be more inclusive to the downtown businesses. We would love to have a landing page to feature the businesses and feature their contact information. We're really trying to focus in this year on the downtown businesses to get as much information into people's hands about all the businesses and what we offer down there and what that footprint looks like. So we're in the middle of doing that right now. And then in July, we will start the Stormwater grant with private property owners. And I'll have a lot more information forthcoming once we get closer to that date.
Yeah, Sharon, what is the Stormwater grant? I'm curious. First time I've heard of that.
So we applied for a grant. It's a grant to help private property owners with the Stormwater initiative. I think we are working with the Regional Commission on it. I don't have a lot of details. We've only had one meeting so far about it. But it's to try to help the private property owners in Christiansburg start helping with the stormwater situation. It's quite a big project that DCI I think will be heading, but it's going to be super inclusive to the community. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for us to reach outside of our downtown footprint and be inclusive to all the Christiansburg personal property owners. And from what I can understand from the first meeting we've had so far, it's going to be an educational part to it to show everybody where your stormwater goes and why it's so important to try to take care of your area with clean stormwater. And so that might be personal property owners can apply for grants to do certain, different things with the water on their personal property to help out with this initiative. There's a lot of moving parts to it. And like I said, we've had one meeting so far that just kind of gave us a broad idea of it, but we'll be really diving in July and putting all kinds of information out. And so I'll try to make sure I get as much information to you all, hopefully in May or June. So everybody can kind of have their hands on it and be able to wrap their arms around it to see exactly what it's going to look like. It's a pretty big project, though. I think it's going to go well. It's just got a lot of moving parts.
I think that's wonderful, Sharon. And,
Yeah.
when you're ready, it would be wonderful to have you present to council because,
Okay.
council has supported DCI in the past financially. And I see this as a worthy project that helps everybody, that you really should toot your own horn and make sure everybody knows about it. But I also want to mention that DCI did not request funding from the town this year in the community support area. And I did have a private conversation with the president of DCI, and I asked why. And the responses were sad, actually. It's unfortunate that there are feelings the way that they are right now. And I would like to encourage DCI to apply next year because what you're doing helps the community, not just a select few. And you're doing a lot of hard work that deserves to be rewarded. And I'd like to see you back on that list, despite the concerns that your president had. And I do understand those concerns. I won't share them here, but please encourage your group to reapply. We want to work with you and not against you. And one way to do that is help with funding for things that you're doing, such as this. You're helping our citizens. So please share that with your board. And I thank you for everything that you guys do.
Will do. Thank you,
That's all I
Marissa.
have. I'm sorry, Sharon, I didn't hear that.
I said, thank you. I will definitely share that with the board.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
That's all,
And
Sam.
Okay, Sharon, once again, I want to welcome you aboard, and I hope this is not the last time we see you or anyone from your organization, because the more partners we have, it's going to make our job a little bit easier.
Yes, I appreciate you all letting me come on here and just kind of give a summary of what we're doing. And I'll be excited to share a lot more details as we kind of can get everything ironed out. But I think we have a good year in store for DCI. We're really excited about the different directions we're taking in and really refocusing on just the downtown business owners and helping them out. And just trying to make that camaraderie a little stronger and just
Right.
helping everybody recover and pivot and move forward.
Okay, all right. Andrew, you have anything else?
No, I do not. Thank you.
All right, so if there's nothing else to come before this committee, we are adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sam.
See you later, buddy. Lunchtime.
Yeah.
You fine?